Hello everybody, I'm SnipingIsFun, and in the video we bring you guys today, it's going to be me answering a simple question to the best of my ability. And by now, by clicking on this video, you already know what the name of the question is, what the question actually is, because it's the name of the video. And some of you guys might now be wondering, or I'm assuming probably all of you now, what does this question mean and where did I get it from? Where did I hear it from? And the name of the video is, and the question is, in fact, is how can he like it so much? And where this question came from was because a couple of days ago when my cousin, the Insane Gaming Geek, he has a channel here on YouTube, he's been in my videos numerous times, was over and one of his friends called him on his phone and he mentioned that I liked the Wii to his friend, and his friend asked my cousin, how can he like it so much? Because he did, you know who I'm talking about here, basically. You know the type of person I'm talking about. And no offense to you, I don't know who you are, Vito's friend here. So this is not an attack on you. So please don't take this as an attack on you. It's just me simply responding to your question via video, because obviously I really won't be able to talk to you. So if you get the chance to come across this video, you know my reasons why now. And anyone else that might be wondering why me or other people, like the Wii kind of a thing. So please don't take it as an attack. I'm not trying to attack you. We all have our preferences. I have my preferences. You have your preferences. So on and so forth. There you go. But he asked that question, and I was thinking about it. I should make a video response to this. And basically, I'm going to come up with 5 reasons for why I like the Nintendo Wii. I could probably come up with more if I really thought of all the things about the system and come up with more than 5 reasons, but I wanted to limit it to 5, and that's basically it. So anyone out there, Vito's friend, anyone else out there who wants to see these reasons, please continue on with the video. I'm going to start with reason number 1 right now. And reason number 1 on my list is a very simple reason. The reason number 1 I'm going to be giving is because I'm a Nintendo fan. I have been a Nintendo fan for years. I like playing their franchises, and I generally like to play their systems. And no, that's not a fanboy reason. It's just a reason for why I like to play their systems. It would be a fanboy reason if I said I only like to play Nintendo and don't like to play other systems, which is entirely false, because I like to play my PlayStation 1 and 2. I like playing those. I am wanting to get a PS3. I enjoy playing Xbox games and stuff like that. And I have played the occasional PC games, and I played stuff like that. And I have played Sega in the past over at various friends and cousins' houses. It's just that I have a preference for Nintendo, and I love their franchises from Mario and Zelda, Pokemon, Fire Emblem, Golden Sun, F-Zero, Star Fox, a ton of franchises they have. So my number 1 reason why is because I've been a Nintendo fan for years. I'm in general just a Nintendo fan, and I like to play in their systems and their games. And that's my number 1 reason. My second reason for why I like the Nintendo Wii is basically its controller types and the availability of different control styles, basically. Let's take the main control style for the Wii into hand right here. In hand. It's the Wii Remote and the Nunchuck. Or if you really want to get into some games which kind of utilize the controller anyways, sometimes it's an option, but other times it's kind of like required, you could use the Wii Remote with Motion Plus, or get the Wii Remote Plus, which has the Wii Motion Plus already built in. Basically, in some games utilize the Nunchuck, and some games is just this. But if you don't want to use those control styles, which actually the certain games give you the option to choose if you want to use a certain control style or not, which I have to say for sure is not in every single game, but it is in there for certain games out there. You could also utilize and use the Classic Controller Pro, or you can get the original Classic Controller. Or if you want to go back for an older style controller, you can use the GameCube controller still for a lot of games. Now, like I said, it's not certain games don't give you that option, but there are games that do. And even so, the control styles used, certain genres and certain types of games can be played better with other control styles. And giving your gamer, giving your customer the option of being able to pick what kind of control style they want is a good thing. Let's take a first-person shooter for example. Maybe I would want to play, instead of a dual analog controller, with this, because all I have to do is aim at the screen and point. Because this basically, in a first-person shooter for the Wii, if you use this, this is your right analog stick. You aim around and you pull the trigger, kind of thing. This is like the left analog stick. You move. It's basic, and the button combinations work really well, from being able to smash, like, to attack your opponent, or be able to throw grenades or reload your gun, kind of thing. But let's take, but people who want that option to switch can still use this, or the GameCube controller if it's usable. And then let's take like fighting games or adventure games, for example. Maybe I want to play with this instead of the Wii Remote and nunchuck, kind of thing. I have the option to do so. And then certain games usually can work better with certain control styles. And then even though certain control styles only have one control style for the game, usually the Wii Remote and the nunchuck, it still is done. Maybe you can still get used to that kind of control style for those games. So basically, it works. But let's take the PS3 360 for example here. The only control style usually usable in those systems, and I am not attacking them at all, it's just I'm stating this opinion, stating this reason, it's not me attacking them, is basically just dual analog, unless you want to use the Move for the PlayStation 3 or Kinect for the 360. And those usually are only compatible with either a few games, which are usually just their own select games, so it's not like you got the option in a lot of games. More so for PlayStation Move, it's more of an option, just like the Wii. Not so much with the Kinect, but you usually are forced into this. And not saying that's a bad thing, but overall, I'm just saying you get more options with the Wii, and more options to pick from. And that's my second reason why I like the Wii. The third reason for why I like the Nintendo Wii is, in fact, the ability for you to go on the Wii Shop and be able to download either classic, NES, Super Nintendo 64, TurboGrafx, Sega Genesis games, or the ability also to download newer games like the WiiWare games. Basically, you could download the links from Mega Man, Mega Man X, River City Ransom, Castlevania, Ninja Gaiden, so on and so forth. And for me, a lot of these games that I either have on this list, I've either played in the past and don't own, I've never owned them, or I don't own them anymore, or they're games I never even tried out. So basically, for me, I can either go back and play older games older games I basically have played in the past, have those nostalgia memories for wanting to go back and play them again, or I've never played them before, and maybe like people recommended it to me, or there's people talking about it, or maybe I just have my own little interest in the game, like, that game looks cool, maybe I could download it. I think that many points is fine for me to download, and I'll download it and give the game a try, which I gave for a game like Wild Guns, which is a pretty cool game. Getting used to it, dual analog sticks kind of a thing is like, the analog stick and diagonal pad and everything moving around the aim, is a little challenging. A game like this could actually work really well with the Wii Remote, in the, the nunchuck kind of a thing. But it still is a pretty good game, and I've never played this game before, and I downloaded it to try it out. Something like Zombies Ate My Neighbors, I used to own, and it's an awesome game. And I have Super Mario RPG, which I rented once and I liked it. That kind of a thing. F-Zero, which I used to own, as a sweet game. And then I do have Bomberman and the Excite Bike World Rally download on the WiiWare. The WiiWare offers some sweet games too, like Mega Man 9 and 10, and the Dr. Mario game, Final Fantasy IV, the After Years, and quite a bit of good games on there too, although I haven't downloaded much of those. But if you ask a lot of people online, they like those kind of games as well. And also for the Virtual Console, like I said, it's it's like a system, like a store, like a group of games that you can go back in time and play games that you haven't either played before, or go back and play games you have played before years ago, just to go back and revisit those games. And that's my third reason for why I like the Wii. It gives you the option to go back and play older games on the system. You could download older games on the system. And my fourth and fifth reason for why I like the Nintendo Wii. And yes, I said fourth and fifth because these two reasons are different but also in the same category, and they both relate to the video games that are available on the system. The fourth reason is because I like the games that the system offers, from first party and second party Nintendo to the good third party games that the system had released on it from 2006 all the way till now. Yes, 2011 has been a slow year, and there was like maybe about 6 to 8 games in that year, and only 2 of them were really, really worthwhile. But it has had good games since it came out in 2006. Games that a lot of people would like, and just in general, good games. And the fifth reason to it all is that the Wii does in fact offer a lot of variety. It has a lot of gaming genres that are, available on it. Are all of them available on it? No. But the same thing could be said about the PS3 and the 360. There's a lot of genres that are not available on that either. And that's not me insulting them. That's not me trying to attack them. That's just the truth. The same thing with the Wii, the PS2, GameCube, Xbox, and everything. PC. There's a lot of things that sometimes they miss out on, or at least for a while they miss out on. Like I said, my fourth reason is because I like the types of games that the system offers. The fifth reason is because I like the variety that the system offers. And I think it's probably, in this current generation, one of the systems that offers the most variety. I would assume it's kind of beating out the PS3 a little bit, and then the 360 being last. Not saying the PS3 and 360 don't have variety, but I think the Wii just has a little bit more, and then the PS3 and the 360. No offense to those systems either, but to show you the kind of games that I do in fact like on the system, because I don't know what you guys know, Vito, your friend there that asked me this question, or asked you this question for why I like this, basically like that, or anybody else out there that would like to know why. I want to show you these games, because I think when I show you these games, they're going to be games that you're like, that's really on the system? I did not know that. I didn't do my research. I didn't see those games out there. I would have maybe been interested in some of those games. I wouldn't have expected that, because maybe I haven't looked too much. You didn't do your research, or maybe when you played the Wii, you played 1 or 2 games, which I would assume it was Wii Sports. You're like, yeah, I'm gonna go to the Xbox or PS3 kind of a thing. I'm not even gonna go out and try to research all the other games that came out on it, or keep the system for a couple of years to see what comes on down the line. No offense to you, but that's just my general thoughts for what I think the situation went down, how the situation probably went down, for why you think like that, and why you would ask me that question. But I'm gonna show you just a couple of the games I have. I'm not going to show you all of them, and I'm just going to probably generally just fly right through them, but that's about it. Let's start with the first game. New Super Mario Bros. Wii. A good platforming game. Just as good as the older ones, it's as good as the DS one. Ghost Squad. Yes, the game that was in the arcades. I got this for $5. You can get this as a good, cheap clearance pickup. Because I got this at Kmart's for a sale. It was $10, but I got $5 off. It's a good game. It's just as good as what you play in the arcade. Dawn of Discovery. It's like a real-time strategy type game. You build your colony. You take on enemies. It's set in the pirate era, pretty much. Klonoa. It's like a remake of a PlayStation 1 game, like a platforming PlayStation 1 game that a lot of people like. Although I never played the PlayStation 1 game. SSX Blur. Sure, it's not the best game in the series. I would put that to Tricky or 3. And those two are my favorite anyways. But it still was a good entry to the series in general. Muramasa. A good, artistic, Japanese-styled hack-and-slash game. Fire Emblem Radiant Dawn. A strategy RPG. You put your forces out on the field, and you battle till you defeat all the rest of the enemy's forces, or you accomplish a certain goal, and once you lose one of your guys, they're gone for good. So you better be good at keeping your guys alive. Disney's Guilty Party. You may be like, oh, it's kidding. It's a good game. It's like Clue almost. It's like a board game style game where you have to try to see who did the crime. And it's fun.